This question requires a construction and meaning-based attack. This question reads that researchers studying the scans of volunteers who pondered over some dilemmas have found something. So we can notice that the construction and meaning of the original sentence seems just fine. Let's hold on to that. Now, the main difference that we can find among A, B, and C is that A says have found and B and C say and found. So what this means is that in B and C we have a conjunction followed by another verb, which means B and C have construction problems. As we can notice, the subject of the sentence is researchers. So if I say researchers studying the scans, now this is a present participle modifier. And the scans of volunteers who pondered over, now this is a relative clause that modifies the volunteers. So we have a present participle modifier modifying the researchers. We have a relative clause modifying the volunteers. But what we can see is that before this conjunction and, there is no verb which applies to the subject, researchers. There is a second verb, but there is no first verb before the conjunction. So this construction would be similar to saying something like Sam and left for work. So as we can see, a conjunction is present and the second verb is there, but we don't have a first verb that applies to the main subject, Sam. So that is what is wrong with both B and C. Even in C, we have pondering, which is another present participle modifier, which is modifying volunteers. But again, as I said before, the first verb is missing before the conjunction, so B and C go off. Now D and E shift that as researchers studying these scans while pondering. So if we say this, then the meaning becomes that these researchers were pondering, that they were studying these scans while they were pondering. But is that the intended meaning of the sentence? Because it is understandable that the brain scans of the volunteers while pondering ethical dilemmas, those brain scans are being studied. So by meaning, it should not be that the researchers were pondering ethical dilemmas. So D goes off. Even in E, the clear antecedent for the pronoun they would be the researchers. Because we can notice that the volunteers is actually written in possessive form and that they cannot be referring back to volunteer scans. So yes, it is the researchers. And if the they is referring back to the researchers, once again the logic reads that the researchers pondered, which is invalid. E goes off. So the original construction itself is just fine. A is your answer.